What is up, YouTube? This is Hypergon, your Cat, and welcome back to my month-long Halloween special. Now, this week I've decided to go back to what I did a couple of weeks ago and do another top 5 scary list. However, this time I'm not going to be doing my top 5 scary decks, obviously. I'm going to be doing my top 5 scariest monsters. Now, this by no means is a reflection on how these cards actually work in the game, whether they're actually good or bad cards. None of that matters. This is solely based on aesthetics, the card art, how it actually looks, and just how much it makes my skin crawl. So, now that we know the rules for this list, why don't we go ahead and get started with number 5. Starting off on the number 5 spot on this list is Pumpking, the King of Ghosts. Now, while this card isn't necessarily the scariest card in the game, it is worth noting that he is the King of Ghosts, and given that this is the month of Halloween, it made sense for me to include the Jack-o'-lantern-like King of all the dead. Again, he's more of a cartoony kind of scary, but at the same time, if you had a giant demonic pumpkin with large green tentacles coming after you, I bet you'd shit your pants personally. But again, just quick and easy, that's all I got for him. Moving on to number 4. The number 4 spot on my list isn't really there, again, for aesthetics so much as he is street cred. Number 4 spot goes to Malik Oda of the Burning Abyss. He is the big boss monster amongst the main deck Burning Abyss monsters, their ritual monster. And the reason I chose him is because he essentially is the ruler of all the demons of hell. That is what he is in Dante's Inferno, and this deck is based very heavily off of Dante's Inferno. Therefore, we can only conclude that Malik Oda is also the king of all demons in hell. That's pretty scary as far as I'm concerned, and I think that deserves him at least the number 4 spot on the list. But I assure you now, the rest of the monsters on this list are solely based on aesthetics and nightmare value, so brace yourself. We're stepping into number 3. It's no secret, really, that the Fright Fur monsters are intended to be a scary lot. However, for me, there's none that really capture that horror and grotesqueness than Fright Fur Leo. I know he wasn't the original one, and technically he's not even the big boss monster, or even really one of the better Fright Fur monsters. But to me, he is definitely the creepiest, and that is because of his design. The main thing for me is his face. That's really what seals the deal for me. It's split in half, plus he has those creepy red eyes, that demonic smile, and again, with the face split straight down the middle because of a buzzsaw like that, it's pretty intimidating looking. Even as far as the other Fright Furs are concerned, which just look like, stuffed animals with, like, scissors and stuff coming out of them, this one for me really takes the cake. It's just downright creepy and just, ugh. Anyway, number 2. Really don't want to do this one. But number 2 has to go to Outer Entity, I apologize if I butcher this, Garla. Now, the reason that this guy creeps me out so much is just, compared to the other monsters of the Entity archetypes, like Norden, Hastur, guys like that, he is without a doubt just the creepiest of them all. He has like this weird sort of like a Cthulhu look going for him, with all those octopus tentacles. And for me, the crazy part is the only defining facial feature he has is his mouth. Or rather, mouths. Just covered in various mouths all over his body. No eyes or anything. Just arms, body, tentacles, mouths everywhere. It's just so disgusting and creepy. Plus, it's such a really well-drawn card art that it just... God... Ugh. I hate thinking about it. It just makes my skin crawl. Moving on, we finally hit the number 1. Let's see what it is. I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking, what could possibly top all those creepy, disturbing, disgusting monsters. For me, there's really only one that can, and that is none other than Dark Necrofear. Kind of an old school card compared to some of the other entries on this list, but for me, it's a card that will haunt me till the end of time. I don't know what it is about Dark Necrofear that creeps me out so much. Maybe it's the blank, desolate look in its face. Maybe it's the undead-looking baby doll thing it's holding in its arms. Maybe it's the dark aura of its background. Maybe it's because Bakura used it in the anime. I don't know what it is about this card. It just sends shivers down my spine every time I see it. It just creeps me the hell out. And God, I want nothing to do with that card, honestly. It's one of those cards for me that just endears in how disturbing it can be. It came out years and years ago, and it still creeps me out to this day. I cannot get over it. Those other cards I'll get over eventually, but this one has persevered throughout the ages. It still haunts me. But that's all I got for you guys for the list this week. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Was this a good list? Did I miss any exceptionally creepy monsters? What are your top 5 creepiest monsters? Let me know down in the comments below, or comment on my Facebook page to also let me know. Of course, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for further content. And until next time, happy hauntings!